Hey everyone, Kristen Dick here, founder of Avro Creative, where I'm a personal branding strategist and I get to work with ambitious women to help them reach their goals using my signature personal branding process and personal branding products. So, I wanted to let you know that 66% of Canadians and Americans don't trust what they see on social media. Whoa. Okay, so knowing that, does it seem like a wise idea to place all of your personal brand work on social media alone? Now, that might sound a little bit scary, but social media is in fact just one of 4 media categories that you can be building your brand on and that you should be building your brand on. So today I want to explain what the other 3 are and also explain how well they work together when you have all 4 of them. Okay, so the other 3 media categories are owned media, earned media, and lived media. So owned media. This is media that you own. It could be your newsletter, your podcast, your blog. You own it. You own the rights to it. You own how and where it is shared. No one can take that away from you. It's so strong because it gives you the opportunity to show your expertise rather than just tell people about your expertise. The next one is earned media. So this is, typically when we hear earned media, we think of traditional media. So you get invited to be interviewed on television. You get invited to be a guest on someone's podcast, which is something I love to do. Or you're invited to be interviewed or take over someone's blog. That's earned media. Earned media also includes being asked to present, being asked to give a presentation at a conference. And the reason that earned media is so powerful is because we all know that they don't just ask anyone to get on stage at a conference. They don't ask just anyone to come on to a television show unless they've been vetted, right? So the people who own those platforms, they are doing their due diligence. They're investigating these people. So we're placing an extra amount of trust that these people really know what they're talking about because someone else is saying that they do. So that brings us to lived media. And lived media is your networking, your strategic networking. And yes, you can do this during a pandemic. And no, I'm not talking about getting on like a massive Zoom call or something like that. So I'm going to probably do another video on this because I think there's going to be some questions on it. So lived media is the networking piece, and it's hugely, hugely important. So why? Why do you want to have all 4 of these? Well, it's similar to the idea of having multiple streams of income. It's not wanting to put all of your bags in one basket out of the potential risk that something goes wrong with one of them. But the real reason that you want to have these 4 categories of media and be active within them is because each of these categories make the other appear stronger. So they reflect better on the other. They work synergistically with one another. So think about somebody who Googles your name, and if they just see your Instagram account or your LinkedIn account, that is great. It's much better than nothing. But think of how much more powerful it is if, say, they find you on social media, then they Google your name and they see that you have been invited to be on someone's podcast and you have some great insights that you're going to share on it. And that you've also been interviewed on a television show about your area of expertise, or you've been asked to be a subject matter expert on a show. That goes so much further, as does when someone meets you or can put you in touch with someone else and say, yeah, I know Kristen, she's great. Here's her contact information. That goes a really, really long way, and they all work together. So I wanted to tell you about how do you do this? How do you make this all work together? Because you might feel like social media on its own is really overwhelming. That's how I felt. I felt like social media was overwhelming on its own, but I was seeing that I was getting major traction in the other areas, much more than I was getting in social media. So how do you make this all work together? Here is what I do, and here's what you can do too. So think of it this way. Start with networking. So you are having conversations with people, ideally your target audience. Listen to them. Listen to the questions that they're asking you. Now, take those questions home and write an article about it. So you're taking that lived media experience and you're bringing it home to create owned media. You're going to write an article or a blog about it and publish it on your website. So then you start to see, oh, this is helpful to people. This person that asked me can't be the only person who has this question. So take that and pitch it to a blogger, a journalist, a podcaster. Say, hey, look, I have great insights in this area. I know people want to know more about this. I'd love to help your audience with it. Now you've got earned media coverage. Then you take that article that you wrote, you take that podcast that you were on, and you break down all the things that you said into bite-sized social media posts. Then you have months upon months upon months of content for your social media. And you do this cycle over and over and over again. So how do you organize it is the next question, and that is where this comes in. It's the personal brand planner. So when I was stuck with that question, finding this rhythm, finding out how powerful it is when you have this media synergy happening, building your brand, helping you go so much further faster, but then feeling stuck and bogged down, like, how do I do this? How do I organize this month to month? I couldn't find anything online or anywhere to solve this problem for me. So I made it myself. And that's what it is. It has done awesome things for me. I know it can help you too. And so you can visit thepersonalbrandplanner.com today to learn more about it, and stay tuned for more on the Personal Brand Planner. Thank you, everybody.